Apple announced iPhone OS 1 at the iPhone keynote on January 9, 2007, and it was released to the public alongside the first-generation iPhone on June 29, 2007. 3. No official name was given when the iPhone was released, and Steve Jobs just said iPhone runs OS X for 5. During the development phase of iPhone OS 1, probably 17 different concepts were developed. Many on the team were skeptical of the feasibility of a touchscreen keyboard and believed that users would prefer hardware keyboards. A number of different user interfaces were prototyped, including one that involved a multi-touch click wheel. 6. iPhone OS 1 was criticized for its lack of support for Adobe Flash web content, copy and paste, and Bluetooth stereo headphones. 7. It also lacked support for third-party native apps and only supported web apps. 8, which was criticized by reviewers and developers. 9, 10, including John Carmack. 11. iPhone OS 1.1 was the first version supported by the first-generation iPod Touch. 12. iPhone OS 1.1.4 is the final version of iPhone OS 1 for the first-generation iPhone, with iPhone OS 1.1.5 being the final version of iPhone OS 1 available for the first-generation iPod Touch. 13. It was succeeded by iPhone OS 2 on July 11, 2008. 14. iPhone OS 2. Main article. iPhone OS 2. Apple announced iPhone OS 2 at a March 6 keynote, 15/16, and it was released to the public on July 11, 2008, alongside the iPhone 3G. 14. iPhone OS 2 was the first release to have the App Store and to come with an official iPhone SDK allowing third-party developers to create native iPhone apps. 17/18. It also added many enterprise features, including Microsoft Exchange support through ActiveAsync for push emails, push contact and push calendars, and support for IPsec VPNs. 16. Apple did not drop support for any of its devices with the release. iPhone OS 2 was compatible with all devices released up to that time. 14. The release of iPhone OS 2.1.1 brought support for the second-generation iPod Touch. 19. iPhone OS 2.2.1 is the final version of iPhone OS 2. It was succeeded by iPhone OS 3 on June 17, 2009. 20. iPhone OS 3. Main article. iPhone OS 3. Apple announced iPhone OS 3 on March 17, 2009. 21, and it was released to the public on June 17, 2009, alongside the iPhone 3GS. Apple did not drop support for any devices with this release. iPhone OS 3 was compatible with all devices released up to that time, but not all features were available on the original iPhone. 20. The final release supported on the original iPhone and iPod Touch first generation is iPhone OS 3.1. 3. 22. The first iPad was introduced along with iPhone OS 3.2. 23. 24. iPhone OS 3 was succeeded by iOS 4 on June 21, 2010. 25. iPhone OS 3 was the first version to support cut, copy, and paste. 26. The feature had previously only been available through jailbreaking. 27. iOS 4. Main article. iOS 4. Apple announced iOS 4 in April 2010, 28, and released it to the public on June 21, 2010, alongside the iPhone 4.